Good morning. Um, so my name is Martina Lutz, and as she said, I'm from Johnson County School Systems. I don't teach at a particular school in the Johnson County School Systems. I am an itinerant teacher. I teach at every school in the Johnson County School Systems, and I am the band director. So what this has done and what my grant is about, it posed the problem for me because we have 5 elementary schools in Johnson County schools, and plus the middle school and the high school. What I have to do is travel from school to school to school in order to teach band. In our area, and I'm sure this is the same for most Eastern Kentucky schools, most children cannot afford their own instrument. I did a survey, I think it was about 2 years ago when I applied for the Mr. Holland's Opus grant, that about 80% of my students do not own an instrument, and they are depending on a school horn to use. Families can't afford the instruments, or parents just flat out tell their kids, well, if it costs anything, you can't do this. And it's my belief that all students should have the opportunity to experience music education, and it's a very valuable for creating a whole human. So what I'm doing currently, and if you go look at my poster, you'll see the picture, my car is stacked from top to bottom with instruments that I tote around from school to school to school. And in some cases, I have enough for every child to use during that particular class period, especially if I'm allowed to break it down to 4th period class and then 5th grade class, 6th grade class. And we wipe them off with Clorox wipes to disinfect them. There are some cases where I do not have enough spare instruments and the kids actually have to take turns. And when I only get to see the kids for an hour once a week, it's really taking away from the amount of education and the quality of education I'm able to give these students. So my proposal was entitled, Will Appalachian Students, Through the Use of Technology, Have More Access to Music Education? I wrote my grant as a way to try to help students obtain ability to use instruments. So I have requested MIDI keyboards. We were very fortunate in our county. I think when I wrote the grant, I said grades 5 through 12, but I actually believe it's grades 4 through 12 now. All these students in grades 4 through 12 all got a Chromebook, one-to-one Chromebook for every student in our county. And so I was thinking about what I could do because I've never wrote for one of these grants because I'm like, I teach music. I don't do technology. I'm not innovative. This was invented in the 1700s, you know. But I was thinking, too, I'm losing a lot of kids who might not be so into music because they're more into computers or software or things like this. So I wrote the grant for MIDI keyboards, and what we're going to be able to do with that is, one, very small, very compact, a lot easier to carry around. The kids can hook these into their Chromebooks, and they'll not only be learning keyboard skills, but they'll be able to put in earbuds and practice at their own pace. Because another problem that I ran into the more I researched this was I have kids that are moving really quickly, and then I have kids that are still trying to learn how to blow through their horn after 6 weeks. But in a small classroom setting where I have to have all kids at one time for only 1 hour and instruments are very loud, it's very hard to let this group go on and work at an advanced pace while I'm back here trying to help this child get a sound out of their instrument. And so with these keyboards, kids will be able to plug in, put their earbuds on, and they'll be able to work at their own pace. So that's one of the things I looked at. I'm also going to use them, hopefully in the future, to reinstate an AP Music Theory program, because even though we don't have textbooks for AP Theory, with the use of a keyboard, we can talk about scale structures or major minors or chord structures with these instruments. And so it's going to open up a whole world of music education that I've not been able to do with a traditional instrument or a traditional horn. I'm looking at different programs that we can use where kids might be able to also maybe check out one and practice at home using their keyboard skills. I'm looking at a way to hook them into my computer so that I can track their progress. I think this year, when I do receive the keyboards, I know they've been ordered, I'm going to look at using maybe my 7th grade and my high school as guinea pigs to see which programs work the best, and then start moving it and branching it out to the elementary schools. But hopefully in the future I'll obtain enough for a classroom set of keyboards, and then we could even go as far as to have like keyboard lab as a classroom offering. I've also, looking ahead to the future, I can hook these into also like digital soundboards and stuff, and the kids can start composing music through GarageBand and creating music. They can learn how music production works and work with sounding and mixing and things like that. So we're really excited. I told the kids that they were getting these keyboards, and they're really, really excited, because kids will often say, well, can I play piano in band? And I'm like, well, how am I supposed to get a piano here to the school? You want me to put it in my car? So that's been an issue. So now this will open up the door for kids to learn piano skills as well. And I don't know how I'm doing. I could talk all day if you let me. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay, thank you.